Welcome back to some new r/malicious compliance stories, where people comply to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. I hope you had a great day. Thanks for all the likes and comments on the last video. And now let's start with the first story. It's called Daily Reports. Today my boss accused me of not being in the office for work over the past few weeks. I work in a sales job, and while I'm in the office daily, I'm not there all day due to off-site meetings. I provided proof of my computer login showing my locations, but despite the evidence, I was told that regardless of the proof, there was still a perception that I was not present. In response, I decided to start sending detailed summaries of my daily activities, similar to TPS reports, to ensure complete transparency. I sent an email outlining this plan and included instructions on how to set up a Microsoft rule to automatically forward these reports to our designated folder. Shortly after, my boss responded, stating that TPS reports would not be necessary. He also mentioned that if any clarification was needed in the future, he would reach out directly. The next story is called Judge Order. This event took place some time ago at a large Australian hospital. On the Friday before Christmas, senior management announced a major restructure. Their statement included the usual points about realignment, improving patient outcomes and increasing efficiency. Staff and unions were informed that the consultation period would close in the first week of January, with the new employment structure set to take effect in February. Under the conditions of the industrial award, the employer was required to conduct genuine consultation, allowing employees a fair opportunity to challenge decisions regarding redundancy. In the Australian health sector, redundancy payouts are generally substantial. A worker with 13 years of service, for example, would receive a full year's salary, with a significant portion tax-free, in addition to payouts for accrued annual leave and long service leave. The redundancy amount increases each year, up to a maximum of 13 years. The restructuring plan aimed to make over 200 staff members redundant, representing about 4 to 5% of the workforce. In response, the union filed a case in the industrial court, arguing that the timeframe, especially during the holiday season, was inadequate. The court agreed and extended the consultation period by 2 weeks, but made two key statements. First, it would not allow further delays to the restructure. Second, it reminded the unions that their role was limited to consultation, not decision-making. Hospital management viewed this ruling as a major victory and openly expressed confidence in overcoming union resistance. However, the unions held a combined meeting and decided to take full advantage of the consultation process. Employees were encouraged to submit as many questions as possible regarding the restructure. One union alone collected over 1,200 questions, with 700 being unique. Other unions gathered an additional 800 to 900 questions, bringing the total to more than 2,000. Hospital management did not react well to this overwhelming response and attempted to proceed without addressing the questions. The unions returned to court, reminding the judge of the previous ruling that required genuine consultation. The court ruled that the employer must provide answers, placing the restructure on hold. The questions covered a wide range of topics, including legal implications under the industrial award, compliance with professional standards, the impact on daily operations, and the personal consequences for employees. 3 weeks later, management provided responses, consisting only of single-word answers, such as yes, no, maybe, possibly, and unsure. This was deemed inadequate, and the unions once again took the matter to court. The judge expressed frustration with the hospital's lack of meaningful consultation. Management argued that the number of questions was excessive, but the judge reiterated that genuine consultation was required. By June, the process remained in a legal holding pattern, when hospital management announced a revised restructuring plan based on employee feedback. They stated that it would take effect in 4 weeks, but were unwilling to conduct new consultations. The unions returned to court, where they successfully argued that the new plan also required proper consultation. By December, 1 year after the initial announcement, The hospital hired a consultant to oversee the restructure. She shared management's approach and attempted to push the process through without meaningful engagement. The unions challenged this once again, and by this point the judge had lost patience with the hospital's repeated failures to follow due process. As a result, the union submitted even more questions. The judge then decided to hold monthly meetings, personally chairing the discussions to ensure compliance. In total, the restructuring process extended over 3 years. Far fewer jobs were lost than initially expected, and in some departments, new positions were created, after arguments about workload demands. Most employees who ultimately left were nearing retirement and received generous payouts. Additionally, the delays allowed some workers who had not yet reached the 13-year service threshold to qualify for higher redundancy payments. The extra 3 years of employment significantly increased the compensation they received. Throughout the entire process, the union simply followed the judge's instructions to consult by asking questions. The last story is called Starting Times. Recently, some construction work was scheduled to begin. The contractor insisted on starting as early as possible, which in this area meant around 6 AM. Out of consideration for the neighbors, many of whom might still have been asleep, a request was made to delay the start time until 8 AM. The contractor had no issue accommodating this change. A few days into the project, some neighbors raised concerns that the construction noise was disrupting the children's afternoon naps. They warned that if this continued, they would escalate the issue to the authorities. In response, the contractor was informed that the original schedule could be resumed, starting and finishing work 2 hours earlier, to accommodate the nap schedules of the neighborhood children. The following day, the same neighbors returned with complaints that the noise had woken them up in the morning. Before the conversation could escalate, they were informed that all necessary permits and approvals were in place. The contract was legally binding, and legal representation was available if needed to address any further concerns. The construction was completed ahead of schedule, and a celebration was held to mark the occasion. Those particular neighbors were not included in the festivities, and that was completely acceptable. Thanks for watching the video to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And if you have time, watch another one of my videos. Also, if you want to support me further, check out the channel membership or Patreon. And now, I hope you have a great day. See you soon. Bye bye.